Hi everyone, Coach Keon here coming to you from Action Coach Guyana, and we are continuing our interview series, having conversations with business owners, leaders, and team members representing these awesome organizations here in our beautiful, beautiful country. Today, I'm going to be having a conversation with a young lady that you'll be more than happy to hear from as we hear about another destination in Guyana that can provide that level of relaxation, especially after COVID 19 has come to some degree of control. Thank you all for tuning in to our social media platforms. You know that we love to have your company and you support us in our mission when you like, love, and especially share our video content with persons who you believe can really use the information and even just on your timeline. So, without any further delay, without me being a wedge between you and this awesome information today, please welcome to our stream Miss Melanie McTurk from Karanambu Lodge. Pleasant good day to you, Melanie. How are you doing today?
Hello. I am well. I think like everybody else, I'm trying to find my way through what's going on around us and
Excellent.
planning for the future. We have to stay hopeful.
Yeah, I know definitely the navigation can be in this time. But first of all, let us appease our listeners. Can you tell us about Karanambu Lodge?
All right. Well, we are actually one of the oldest locations in Guyana and the Rupununi to be practicing nature tourism and conservation tourism. So Karanambo has actually been receiving guests for almost 100 years now. People like David Attenborough, Gerald Durrell. Those are some of the names that you would have heard from our past. And of course, uh, we are the home of the giant otter rehabilitation project that has made Guyana so famous around the world. And we are one of the original conservation projects in the Rupununi. So we like to say that we have been the inspiration for not only nature tourism in Guyana, but conservation across the Rupununi. What else can I tell you? It's a very small family owned location, and all of our staff come from local communities. And one of the things that we are very committed to is actually involved in what we call engaging people in the tourism value chain. So with our staff, we work very hard to make sure that we are driving as much benefits as possible to local communities at all times.
Excellent, excellent. Thank you very much, Melanie. That was beautiful tour along history, and congratulations on being. You said it's about 100 years. You've now been having this ecosystem there.
Well, Karanambu was established in the early 1920s. We were actually originally a Balata collection point. I don't know if people remember Balata, but
Yes.
British Guyana Balata used to run the British Empire and was fundamental in laying the transatlantic cable. So we played a role in bringing technology to South America.
Oh wow, that is very interesting news. I'm sure persons who are listening are like, wow. I mean, sometimes you really underestimate the richness of our country's history simply because we're not telling it or speaking it often enough. So I'm really happy to have interviews like this where you can learn so much about our country's history and the impact on the world. Now, Karanambo, can you tell us about some of the packages that you offer in terms of the tours that you offer? And on that note, can you then dive into what are your top two
All
packages
right.
that
Well,
you?
first thing I would equip people who are thinking of visiting Karanambo about is this is very much a location steeped in history. So we like to say to people that when you come and visit, you get transported back to the days of the pioneers. And of course, traditionally, we would all eat around a single dining room table, but we've got some new options for that as we move forward. Um, But very much Karanambu is for the people who are seeking a relaxing location and a location with vast and abundant wildlife. So we've got 110 square miles at Karanambu. You've got over 5 habitats. We've got over 600 species of birds found in the Karanambu area alone. And we're also considered one of the most aquatically diverse sites in the world with over 700 species of fish. So many of our trips involve bird watching, nature trails. Of course, we are famous for the giant otters, and because of our conservation program, which has been in progress for over 30 years now, we have one of the healthiest populations of giant river otters in the areas around Karanambu. So a lot of our visitors come specifically to get out on the river and see the giant otters. We are also the home of, and I know this sounds like a lot of boasting, but I can't help it. We're that blessed. We are the home of what is considered the world's best wild collection of Victoria Amazonica.
Wow.
So for those older members among us who would have known her as Victoria Regia, she was renamed. But it is here at Karanambu that you can actually see and interact with those lilies, where the lily pads are up to 6 feet across, where the blossoms themselves can be 18 inches to 20 inches across.
Wow.
And the other activity that people love so much at Karanambu and have come crossed oceans and continents to enjoy is spending time with the giant anteater. So we have a special trip that we do in the early mornings, and we have a number of giant anteaters again that call Karanambu home. And so people have an opportunity. We have one of the highest success rates for spotting giant anteaters in the country. So those, I would say, are some of the top things.
Fantastic information and also stats. I mean, definitely persons who are out there and they're nature lovers, definitely Karanambu is one of the places that you need to visit. So many things to see and so many things rich and embedded in our country's history. So we know that, Melanie, we are currently facing a pandemic that we've never faced before, and we would have been affected by it. I mean, most likely the tourism industry has been severely affected by this pandemic. Now, COVID 19, we're coming to some degree of control. What are going to be some of the plans in place post COVID, as we call it, when persons now get an opportunity to come back out to these lodges?
Well, I'm really glad you asked that, because this has been very important to us, because of course the health of our staff and the health of our communities are very important to us. So Karanambu is going to have a few things that we're going to ask of people visiting us. First of all, we're going to require people to be wearing masks if they're interacting with our staff members or community members. Of course, if you are with your family on your own in your room, you're not going to be expected to wear your mask. But certainly we're asking people to walk with masks, so they can change them throughout the day, and so that they can keep both themselves and our staff safe. You can also expect our staff to be wearing masks when you visit. The other thing I want people to consider is any baggage that you're bringing or any items you're bringing to Karanambu, make sure they're in a waterproof packaging, because one of the protocols that we have put in place already and will still be in place when you arrive is we will be spraying and sanitizing any items that come from outside of Karanambu.
Yeah.
The other thing that we are asking people to do is please be honest with us about your level of exposure. So, of course, we do not have the ability to test people on site, but we want people to recognize that they have a responsibility, not just to themselves, but to us also, as we work together to maintain the health of our communities. Because in the region, in the Rupununi, there are limited medical services. So if people get sick, it is much harder to seek appropriate medical care.
Yeah.
The other thing that we are asking people to do, or rather suggesting people to do, is Karanambu is actually plastic free. So we use refillable bottles
Yeah.
at Karanambu. If you feel that you will be uncomfortable using our bottles, then please walk with your own.
Yeah.
The and the final thing I would add at this point is remember that we have a whole river, so you can swim. A lot of people forget when they're coming to the Rupununi that we have wonderful rivers. So it's you can actually pack a bathing suit. And you know, my last thing would be also, don't forget your sense of humor at home, because we're all making our way through this together. There are going to be a few moments when we don't always get everything right, both you and us, and we need to be able to laugh at ourselves and support each other through this.
Excellent, excellent. I mean, fantastic strategies and or suggestions for persons who are visiting. I trust they were able to make notes to ensure that you have your mask. It's your responsibility to be honest and express your level of exposure. If you had any ailments, to please do that. If you want to have your own bottle, then please walk with your non-plastic bottles. I must put that in. No plastics at Paranambo. So you can have your list ready and going. So great strategies, because we want to make sure that everyone is safe, including not only the visitors but also the team. Yes, Melanie.
And let me just add a few other things, because again, for the domestic market, it's important also to remember, let us know any dietary restrictions you might have. It's not something we think about in country, but you have to remember the locations like Karanambu are very remote. So if you have a special diet, yes, we can cater to it. We are famous for our meals, but we do need a little warning so that we've got the right materials on site to cope with it.
Excellent. So just giving you a heads up very early. So great information, Melanie. I'm sure persons are taking notes on this. They are tuning in right now on our platforms. And as we come down, what would you say would be the top two reasons why people should visit Karanambo? I know you've mentioned several different attractions throughout our conversation. So if you have to bring it together, maybe for somebody who's now joining, what would you say would be the top two reasons why they should visit Karanambo Lodge?
Well, you know what? Karanambu is a location that people around the world save their money to come to, right? So this is, as Guyanese, this is a moment for you to really get a sense of why all the fuss. So come and see our giant otters, come and see our giant anteaters, come and see our giant water lilies, and come and experience the wonderful hospitality of Karanambu. I'd also like to add that in anticipation of things improving at the national front, we are actually hoping to be reopening in August. This will be the end of the wet season, so we will have the wonderful feature of our waterbird nursery being one of the attractions on site at the time. And this year, for the first time, even though we offer 20% off during the wet season annually, in August we actually will be offering 30% off this year. And that is for our premium international package. I want to make this really clear. If you want all the bells and whistles and you want to know what all those dignitaries from around the world were experiencing, this is your chance to do it 30% off. I'm going to also suggest that people keep an eye on our Facebook page, because we are actually working on some special domestic packages that will include a more modest offering. So if you're just interested in coming and chilling out for the weekend, and you just want your meals and a wonderful location to be in, and you're not too certain you're up to all those nature outings, then
Yeah.
we're putting together a package for that. And we're putting together some other family packages that we will be rolling out between now and December. So we're very much focusing on getting Guyana started between now and the end of the year.
Excellent, excellent. I love that tagline, getting Guyana started. We're going to copyright that tagline on the program today. So, we can lend it to the tourism authority. I think it's a really good platform to spring our local tourism back into action. And guys, if you heard it, you heard right. It's lots of giants happening at Karanambu Lodge, giant anteaters, giant water lilies, giant otters, and a giant discount, 30% off the premium international package. And as Melanie said, you need to stay tuned to hear about the rollout of the domestic and family vacation packages as well. So really going to be excited. So Melanie, you've mentioned all of that. Tell people who are really excited and want to get to know more, how can they make contact with you to get more information?
All right. Well, you've seen our phone numbers at the bottom of the screen there. So both of those numbers you can get us via WhatsApp, or you can just call us on the telephone and we'll walk you through the process. Also, if you check out our Facebook page, there is a link, and you can have you can also email us via our Facebook page. The information is there.
Sure. Thank you. So those persons who are in listen only mode and you're hearing about the numbers are 624-2111 or 643-4110. Grab your pens, grab your thumbs and your phone, make note of those contact numbers so that you can reach out and learn more about the special offerings at Karanambo. So finally, Melanie, just before we go, your parting words, what would you like to leave with the listeners today?
Oh my. What I would say to everybody now is stay home today so we can all travel tomorrow. Let's get our country safe now.
Excellent, excellent. That was well said, short and sweet, just like me. So stay home today so that we can travel tomorrow. Guys, thank you for tuning in on our social media platforms. We absolutely love your support. Please be reminded to like, love, and of course, share our video content. Melanie, please stay safe, and my regards to you and the entire team at Karanambo.
Thank you. Karanambo will be waiting when everybody's ready.
Excellent, excellent. So there you had it, guys. Stay tuned for more as we continue our interview series throughout the rest of the week.